Ooh, what is happening, you beautiful, good-looking, attractive people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another day. I hope that you're doing well. Hope that this video is finding you well, whether it's finding you sitting on your couch, laying in bed, sitting in the tub. Make sure you don't drop your phone or your tablet in the tub. That would be pretty disastrous. We're going to listen to a little bit of Neil Young today because I want to. And I hope that you want to as well. We're going to listen to the second track off of the album Rust Never Sleeps, which is going to be Thrasher, which is quite an intense name, which was released in 1979. Did you guys know that there's a shark called a Thrasher shark? I remember when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I was a nerd. You know, I was a nerd. A Thresher shark, I should say. They have the coolest tails. I'm going to put up a picture of this because I just always thought it was cool. Like these Thresher sharks. I always thought they had cool little tails. So we're just going to continue on from where we are and have a good time. I mean, let's be honest, it's going to be a good time, right? Let's go ahead and get into it. This is Thrasher. Is it going to be thrash metal? Neil Young going thrash metal? Little Metallica, maybe? No, I'm just kidding. This is Neil Young, Thrasher. I'm sorry for being stupid.
They were hiding behind hay bales. They were planning in the full moon. They had given all they had for something new. But the light of day was on them. They could see the thrashers coming, and the water shone like diamonds in the dew. I was just getting up, hit the road before it's light, trying to catch an hour on the sun, when I saw those thrashers rolling by, looking more than 2 lanes wide. I was feeling like my day had just begun. Where the eagle glides descending, there's an ancient river bending through the timeless gorge of changes, where sleeplessness awaits. I searched out my companions who were lost in crystal canyons, when the aimless blade of science slashed the pearly gates. Then that I knew I'd had enough, burned my credit card for fuel, headed out to where the pavement turns to sand, with the one-way ticket to the land of truth and my suitcase in my hand. How I lost my friends, I still don't understand. They had the best selection. They were poisoned with protection. There was nothing that they needed, nothing left to find. They were lost in rock formations, or became park bench mutations. On the sidewalks and in the stations, they were waiting. So I got...
My internet just died. I'm so sorry. It literally just died. Oh, that's embarrassing. That's really embarrassing. Hold on. It'll come back. It'll come back.
Bored and left them there. They were just dead weight to me. Better down the road without that load. Brings back the time when I was 8 or 9. I was watching my mama's TV. It was that great Grand Canyon rescue episode, where the vulture glides descending on an asphalt highway, bending through libraries and museums, galaxies and stars, down the windy halls of friendship, to the rose clip by the bullwhip. The motel of lost companions waits with heated pool and bar. But me, I'm not stopping there, got my own road left to hold. Just another line in the field of time. When the Thrasher comes, I'll be stuck in the sun like the dinosaurs in shrines. But I'll know the time has come to give what's mine.
So, where to begin at this one? I like the emotional capacity in Neil Young's voice. I've said it since we've begun listening to him, but I find myself very attracted to it every single time that I hear him sing. I just love the personality that he has when he sings. I feel like he has a very human voice. He captures the human experience. He captures his own personal experiences, but he also shares that in a way that all of us can understand. The guitar is simply the railroad track, and he is the train, which is just moving along the track. And it's the train you pay attention to, but, you know, the track is there, but you may not always pay attention to the track. The guitar is the track. The harmonica solo at the end specifically is a very nice way to sunset us, to just trail us off into the unknown journey that we're about to begin, into the lands distant that we're going to trek. There's a journey ahead in this song, and there's a journey he's already taken in this song, because lyrically there is a ton going on. I like the way Neil Young sings, but I love the way that he writes. He has a sort of Americana poetry style going on in his writing, which I love. I love that. Homegrown poetry and prose. You can't beat it. Something I thought was interesting. I don't know what the Thrasher is, what he's really describing when he says that. But can I just point out really quick before I forget one thing? In the second verse, he says, where the eagle glides descending, there's an ancient river bending through the timeless gorge of changes where sleeplessness awaits. Then he talks about searching out his companions and so forth. We're going to talk about that, right? But that verse, the eagle glides descending, there's an ancient river bending, he's painting a picture for us. 2 verses later, where the vulture glides descending, on an asphalt highway bending through libraries and museums, galaxies and stars down the windy halls of friendship. The progression in the lyrics, it is a thing that I love. I love not only when there's a story, a clear A to B progression, but the way that he brought it back. Of course, using the same, what's the word? Like using the same pattern, changing out the words to show progression. That is awesome. You know how awesome that is? Awesome callback. It's almost like a cameo within the music itself. Like, when, you got a movie from like, I don't know, the 80s. Let's just say like Terminator, right? Classic line, I'll be back. Then they do the remake, the sequels, 2020 or whatever, and Arnold says, I'll be back. It doesn't hit the same. Like, it doesn't hit the same when you brought it back. This, it hits even better. They were hiding behind hay bales. They were planting in the full moon. They had given all they had for something new. The question is, who is this? Is this another, like, historical fictional tale that we're telling? Kind of like Powderfinger? Or is this something different? But the light of day was on them. They could see the Thrashers coming. And the water shone like diamonds in the dew. So what I like is that even if you don't know exactly what he's describing, as I don't, you still have a picture of people waiting behind hay bales, trying to hide, planting in the full moon. The Thrasher is coming, whatever that may be. And I was just getting up, hit the road before it's light, trying to catch an hour on the sun. When I saw those Thrashers rolling by, looking more than 2 lanes wide, I was feeling like my day had just begun. So he describes a certain group of people, then himself, and where those differences are. Then we talked about the ancient river gliding, the eagle gliding, the ancient river bending. I searched out my companions, perhaps the people that were behind the bales, who were lost in crystal canyons where the aimless blade of science slashed the pearly gates. I love that line. When the aimless blade of science slashed the pearly gates? Almost like science was a blade that cut down faith and beliefs. It was then I knew I'd had enough. Burned my credit card for fuel. Realized he didn't need a credit card. A credit card, in the context he's talking about, is something that, you use to get something and then you'll pay it back later. He says he burns that for fuel. Headed out to where the pavement turns to sand. One-way ticket to the land of truth with a suitcase in my hand. How I lost my friends, I still don't understand. He went to go search for something. And in doing so, he, in a way, gave up the comforts of his current life to search out this land of truth, to search out the truth, to find meaning, to go on this journey. And somewhere along the way, he lost his friends. And he still doesn't know how. They don't understand. Or he doesn't understand how he lost his friends. They had the best selection. They were poisoned with protection. There was nothing that they needed, nothing left to find. I think that he's describing these friends and saying, like, they were poisoned with protection. They had it all. They were protected, but it was poisoning them. It was holding them back. It wasn't a protection for them. It was a cage. They were lost in rock formations or became park bench mutations. On the sidewalks and in the stations, they were waiting, so I got bored and left them there. They were just dead weight to me. Better down the road without that load. Brings back that time when I was 8 or 9. I was watching my mama's TV. It was the Great Grand Canyon Rescue episode. Now, I'm not sure what show or what that's being referenced to, but he says that, his friends were dead weight to him, so he left them behind. And he said that they had either become lost in rock formations. Is that like dinosaurs, like they were fossils? Or became park bench mutations, like sleeping on the bench or something? On the sidewalks and the stations? And then he ends with that verse about the vultures that we had mentioned. And that big change. I love that. The passage of time. Where the vulture glides descending on an asphalt highway bending through libraries and museums. Down the windy halls of friendship to the rose clipped by a bullwhip. The motel of lost companions waits with heated pool and bar. But me, I'm not stopping there. Got my own row left to hoe. Listen, he said he's not stopping at the motel. First of all, he describes it as a motel. Just a temporary place. You stop and you move on. And he says that's the motel of lost companions. Describing once again his friends. Perhaps they were all there. And he could have stopped. He could have stopped at this motel and, rekindled friendships, basically. But he says, I'm not stopping there. I've got my own row left to hoe. Just another line in the field of time. When the Thrasher comes, I'll be stuck in the sun. like the dinosaurs in shrines, like a museum, but all know the time has come to give what's mine. He knows at the end, he will have given it his all. He would have made his journey. He would have found his land of truth, his own El Dorado. I don't know. I really like the writing here. I want to see if there's any reference to what this song is about, because it's definitely about something. It could just be like, you know, his relationships. Like, he wanted to, you know, do something so much on his own, like pursue his music, pursue his career, whatever it may be, to the point that he lost friends and family or something like that, or he felt like he had to leave them behind. I do see a note here at the bottom of this page that in 1995, Young revealed that the theme of Thrasher had to do with his feelings towards his work with Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and how the group had lost their own direction and creative will. It also represents Young's feelings about liberation and freedom after breaking free from CSN. The Motel of Lost Companions. That's a good one. Let me know what you guys thought of the track. Let me know what you think of these lyrics. I really want to know what you think of the lyrics. You can let me know, of course, in the comments below. You can follow me on Twitter. You can support the channel if you're so interested on Patreon. But I do hope that you just enjoyed your time here. Hope that you come back tomorrow for whatever else we got going on. It's probably something good. I'm sure it's something good. Have a wonderful rest of your day, your afternoon, your evening, and your night. And I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye.